east and southeast of Catoosa. There's a fresh, brand new cloud to ground lightning strike in that storm. And also from Jinx back over Tulsa Hills Shopping Center and back into extreme northeastern Creek County. We've got another little shower starting to form. These are all moving to the northeast. We'll do a track on the heaviest of these showers, and this one's the one over Broken Arrow. As it moves to the northeast over the next 20 minutes, it'll be moving, of course, over Broken Arrow High School on the northeast side of town, Lynn Lane up toward the casino and toward Catoosa. This cell just to the northwest and west of Jinx, that's going to be lifting northeast over Riverside Airport, ORU into Brookside, Utica Square, TU, all the way up toward TCC, Northeast Campus, and Tulsa International Airport too. Now, our concern really focused on this continuing tornado threat in Latimer and Haskell County, also LaFleur County too. We will watch this circulation very closely as it moves across southeastern parts of Haskell County. Once it moves into LaFleur County, that's in the Fort Smith broadcast area, but this is the zone we're looking at, just northwest of Fanshawe. We can measure this out, and just northwest of Fanshawe by 7 or 8 miles. Fanshawe, you're in the clear. We'll do an updated track on this storm. A rotation just about to move into that southeasternmost part of Haskell County. Now, here's the updated track. Walls at 808, Dog Creek 814, Milton, Bekoshi. We are on cable in Bekoshi, so we will stay even into extreme western parts of LaFleur County while this storm moves toward the Bekoshi area, because we are on TV in Bekoshi. Now, Bedwell, 827 deeper into LaFleur County, and as we take a look at some of the high-res computer data, this is the Bekoshi area. Kind of messy in here. We've had some severe thunderstorms with hail move through LaFleur County. Hail, the main threat, pushing into Bekoshi right now. Here is our storm kind of curling back into the northeast corner of Latimer County right now. This is north of Red Oak. I'll slide this map up so you can see where Red Oak is right now, and we can put the velocities on. The velocities are a little noisier than they were before. It's not quite as strong of a circulation as what we were dealing with just a few minutes ago, but it still looks like it could produce another tornado. Of course, we're going to have some interaction with the previous storm, and the actual result as this storm moves up and interacts with the previous storm that's already in LaFleur County, the existing storm here, that may have some amplification. It may actually cause this circulation to decrease, but it is something we're watching very, very closely as these two storms get up close to each other and start to interact. But this is the southeastern corner of Haskell County, the community of McCurtain, just out of the tornado-warned path here. I'm going to jump back, and you can see from Bekoshi back just to the northwest of Fanshawe right now. This is the potential circulation. We'll show you exactly where that potential tornado is. This is off well to the southeast of Stigler right now. No danger at all in Stigler, but we'll watch the circulation moving to the northeast. As we watch it move to the northeast, we're still just 12 miles southwest of Bekoshi. So the tornado warning remains in effect until 8:30. Our Fox 23 severe weather team coverage continues as well. And meteorologist John Boyer standing by right now. And he's got more on this storm and that tornado watch that we've seen in effect too, John.
Yeah, I want to give us a big picture view because you may be watching in Tulsa and you knew or you got the alert that we were under a tornado watch. A big part of eastern Oklahoma is under the tornado watch in the pink until 9 o'clock. It means that conditions may be favorable for tornadic storms, but I've done some looking in the past few minutes at where the ingredients are that are highest for a storm to create a tornado, and it's really no surprise where we do have that one tornado warning there in, well, now approaching eastern Haskell County and western LaFleur County. That is the one tornado warning we have right now. The only one storm that looks like it's capable of a tornado at this time. One severe thunderstorm warning in northern LaFleur County, and I've drawn a line here on this map. So north of that, even though there is a tornado watch that exists, the tornado ingredients are much, much lower. It's not zero, but it's pretty limited, so I wouldn't be too terribly worried about tornadoes in Tulsa. What we have is winds near the surface in one direction and winds aloft that we have to think about. Well, here in southeastern Oklahoma, those winds are turning. So storms are rotating. What we have here around Metro Tulsa is there are strong winds aloft, but it's going in the same direction as the winds near the surface. So the storms aren't as likely to spin, not as likely to spin. So again, watching the storms around Metro Tulsa for sure, but the immediate tornado threat right now is off into southeastern Oklahoma. So again, we can take a closer look at this tornado warning and really just simplify it, take off the radar picture so we can see everything nice and clear and look at the towns involved with that tornado warning. McCurtain, although based on what we've seen, the actual circulation may pass just off to your east. The town of Keota, the town of Bekoshi in western LaFleur County may be a little closer to the path of that potential tornado. tornado, and still have to watch things just off to the north of the Fanshawe area. Now, for Red Oak, we're able to say the tornado threat has passed away from you now, but there's still a fairly heavy storm going through right now. In fact, I'll turn the radar back on so you can see we've got a lot of heavy rain, maybe even some small hail in there. I can turn on the hail layer to see what we may be dealing with. In fact, could be quite large in some instances. Now, the radar can sometimes overestimate the size, but the largest possible hail we may be seeing in this storm just north of Red Oak, just to the southeast of Kinta, on the Haskell-Latimer County line, could be up to the size of 2 inches. And that's a sign that we're dealing with a storm that has a very strong, fast updraft. So that air is rising quickly, and it has had a history of rotating. Now, if you're just joining us, here we are at 8:05, almost 8:06. You're watching Fox 23 live severe weather team coverage of a tornado warning in southeastern Oklahoma. This is well away from Tulsa. Does not affect Tulsa, but it looks like this storm has had a history of producing a tornado. It likely created a tornado in Latimer County, southwest of Red Oak, maybe up into Red Oak. So as things start to clear out in Latimer County, if you have a picture or report to send us, please do so once it's safe. Photo team at fox23.com or on the Fox 23 News Facebook page. James Adelot also very active on Twitter at James Adelot, and we'll continue to get new scans and watch how this storm evolves as it's interacting with some other ones. So let's send it back over to Chief Meteorologist James Adelot for that.
Again, on the wide view, we're looking at this little skinny line of showers we've been tracking. That's starting to break up, but you can still see in Creek County, we still have some of these showers. We've tried to develop some thunderstorms in the metro area too, but they've just really struggled to become severe. Southeast of Claremore right now, all the way kind of broken back toward Broken Arrow, but the starting to grow a little bit stronger, but not severe. We'll do a track on the strongest part of the storm right now. It's just to the west of the Rose District, far southeastern Tulsa, just to the east of TCC Southeast. As that continues to move to the northeast over about the next 35 minutes, that's going to be that core moving up toward Broken Arrow High School, Lynn Lane, toward the Casino, Catoosa, Port of Catoosa, and Verdigris, probably just passing east of German Corner, eventually toward Claremore. It's not severe, but we're watching it closely. Might see a little bit of small hail with this storm and some gusty wind too. So we also have had another little cell develop, and that one off to the west of this storm. This one just kind of north of Jinx, pushing into southwestern Tulsa right now. No cloud to ground lightning strikes indicated with this, so we'll just call this a rain shower for now as that lifts northeast toward the Fairgrounds, Rogers High School, Hale High School, out toward St. Francis Hospital, La Fortune, and up toward Kirk of the Hills as well, toward 61st Street and Yale. We also have some downpours now. Looks like centered right on 91st between Memorial and Sheridan. That's going to be moving up toward Woodland Hills Mall. Again, looking further southeast, not only do we have the tornado warning in effect, but we have flood warnings, flash flood warnings. This is very dangerous. Our most likely time to have issues with flash flood warnings, rural roads at night, and that's what we're dealing with here. A lot of county roads that will have water over them. So it looks like this is still a pretty serious situation for flooding too. As we take a little closer look into our storm just to the southwest of Bekoshi, we'll pop the velocities on. The velocity wasn't quite as strong a little bit earlier as it was just about 20 minutes ago. Again, we're looking at some outbounds here, some inbounds here. Certainly not as strong as what we just saw 20 minutes ago. If you were with us on Fox 23 News, this velocities were very, very impressive from this storm. Very strong, and as it continued to move toward the northeast, produced some damage in parts of Latimer County. So Bordeaux, Dog Creek, Milton, all the way up toward Bekoshi in the next few minutes. And this storm is not that far southwest of Bekoshi. So here, we'll add on the communities here in just a bit. I'm going to drop that track. And as we take a look, we're looking south of McCurtain right now at correlation coefficient. Doesn't look like we have anything happening right now, but there's kind of a weak circulation right on the county line between LaFleur County and Haskell County. So from the community of McCurtain, we're looking right in this area. It's much weaker than it was before, at least at low levels of the storm. Still very dangerous, and once a thunderstorm has a history of producing a tornado, you know it's got the dynamics to produce another tornado, even though it is slowly moving into an area in the atmosphere that's probably just a little less likely to produce a tornado. It's still a very high danger zone as it moves up toward Bekoshi. So since we are on the air in Bekoshi on the cable system there, we're going to keep it right here as long as this tornado warning is in effect before it clears Bekoshi. But it has moved out of Haskell County, or it's at least right on the county line between Haskell and LaFleur County. It's going to be just a few miles now southwest of Bekoshi. It looks like the circulation is quite a bit weaker than it was, but this storm certainly has had a history of producing damage all the way across Latimer County and even back into North Texas, south of Sherman, and in the Denton area too. Meteorologist Ben Walnick joining me now with more. Ben.
And we haven't talked about the flash flood warnings in quite some time, and that is definitely a big time concern in the same area that's being impacted by these tornado warnings. What I've brought up on the screen here is Fox 23 Doppler radar estimated rainfall in the last 2 days alone, just 48 hours. And as we zoom things back in and take that full, I do want to show you areas that were in this tornado warning, potentially seen as I label some of this. About 9 inches of rainfall just in 2 days, just southwest of Wilburton. They're around 6.5 inches near the McAllister area, upwards of 8 inches of rain. So flash flood warning in effect for these areas, and some very, very heavy rainfall still falling. And we already saw that flooding on Fox 23 News at 5. We're breaking down the flooding. We have crews out there in the field. We actually have a crew out on the way towards Wilburton trying to catch up to where potentially we saw some of that tornado damage southeast of Wilburton. And as soon as we get information from them, we'll bring that to you, possibly on Fox 23 News at 9. But flash flooding, a big time threat, and with dark just a few minutes away, a very dangerous situation if you're heading outside and you have to drive. You can't see if the water has already washed out the road. So if you don't have to drive, especially south of I-40 tonight, I would stay indoors. We'll finally start to dry things out as we head into the early part of the work week. So we've been talking about this tornado threat a lot. That's the reason we're on the air right now. But flash flooding is the #1 concern when it comes to severe weather as far as fatalities. So especially driving at night. Use some caution if you're going to be out on the roadways. Again, this is estimated rainfall just in the last 48 hours, and areas near this tornado warning, upwards of 8 to 9 inches of rainfall. Our severe weather team coverage continues. We've been tracking this threat with this tornado warning here over the last hour to hour and a half. We've had several tornado warnings over the last few days with rounds of storms. We continue our team coverage with certified meteorologist John Boyer.
And I can show you that more rain coming into southeastern Oklahoma that, Ben, you were so worried about. What we're doing is we're taking a pretty big view of eastern Oklahoma here. Here we've got Tulsa. Here we're looking back towards Atoka. That storm does not appear to have severe levels right now, but it is still a very strong storm, very heavy rain, and it's also moving northeast in the same direction that these storms that produced the tornado in Latimer County are. So again, storm down by Atoka, moving to the northeast, and with time that's going to get back into perhaps Latimer County, unfortunately, and create some more rain on top of the rain that you don't already need. So McAllister, the rain is going to continue for you. In fact, it looks like it's going to get a little bit heavier, as that heavier rain is just off to your west in Hughes County, or rather it's more Cole County, moving to the northeast. And again, the rain is also going to intensify and continue for quite a while across Sequoia County, LaFleur County, Haskell, Latimer, and Pittsburgh. That's why there's that flash flood warning that goes until midnight. We've also got Metro Tulsa, where we're monitoring those very, very different showers and storms. These are not like the ones we're seeing in southeastern Oklahoma. They're smaller. We're not seeing the wind or the rotation in them, not even nearly as much lightning. So we're not as worried about severe weather in Tulsa. Nothing immediately that looks like it has any chance of going severe. But again, at 8:13, you're watching Fox 23 live severe weather team coverage, monitoring the one tornadic storm in southeastern Oklahoma. And we're going to stay on the air as long as that is a threat for our viewers. Here in Tulsa, we do not have a tornado threat. Tornado watch until 9 o'clock for our part of the state, most of eastern Oklahoma, but most of eastern Oklahoma is not dealing with tornadic storms. We just have the one into eastern Haskell County. We'll send it back over to Chief Meteorologist James Adelot. What have you learned?
Well, as we look in the metro area right now, we continue to see that storm southwest of Bekoshi. I understand the sirens have sounded in Bekoshi right now, and the community shelter is open. We're on the air in Bekoshi, and that's the community in western LaFleur County that we are on the air in. Once that moves past Bekoshi, we will go back off the air, but watch closely in Sequoia County. Now in the metro, nothing severe. We've seen a couple of showers form. This one has a little bit of cloud to ground lightning in Broken Arrow and a really nice looking rain shaft on it as that's moved across Broken Arrow right now. Leading edge of this as it moves to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. I'm going to track that up to the northeast toward the Casino, Catoosa, Verdigris, Tiowa, Inola, and toward Claremore by about 8:37. Again, seeing a pretty significant rain shaft, some gusty winds in here. Might be seeing some scary clouds, scary looking clouds, but we're not seeing anything severe out of the thunderstorms in the metro area right now. What we are concerned with, the flooding threat south of Interstate 40, and still a tornado warning in effect in parts of southeastern Oklahoma, especially now far western sections of LaFleur County. Bacoshi in particular, I'm going to zoom right in. This is going to pass well west of Poteau and Cavanal Mountain, but the track on this storm as it moves to the northeast, still at about 40 miles per hour. If there is a potential tornado, it's going to be located just southwest of Bacoshi, moving to the northeast right now. And there's the track again toward Bordeaux, Milton, and toward Bacoshi. The circulation at low levels, at least, is much weaker as it moves now south of Highway 31 and basically up toward Bacoshi. So in Bacoshi, you need to be taking tornado precautions. This circulation is a lot weaker than it was. In fact, it looks like the National Weather Service has just allowed that tornado warning to drop. So as we wrap this up, we still have a couple of strong thunderstorms in parts of the metro area. I'm going to bounce back out and show you that. We've got just across parts of Broken Arrow right now and up toward Claremore. Other showers west of Tulsa starting to form from Sand Springs and Prattville back to the southeast. A couple of other showers midtown Tulsa. And then these downpours from Woodland Hills back north of Union High School and curving from Broken Arrow back into parts of Wagoner County. And one more look at those because they are continuing to move toward the east and right over the Creek Turnpike outer loop south of Catoosa and the casino, curving back up west of Inola. A couple of cloud to ground lightning strikes for now. So the tornado warning allowed to expire, and because of that, we will go back to Fox network programming. We will be tracking calmer weather finally moving back into eastern Oklahoma, plus the severe weather threat that continues to our east, and more rain in the southeast part of the state. Coming up on Fox 23 News at 9, we'll be updating the rainfall totals in southeast Oklahoma and what roads are washed out, flooded, and closed. And of course, we'll be back on the air immediately if another tornado warning gets issued.
Mr. Quagmire, your story is a sad one, but that doesn't excuse your actions. I have no choice but to sentence you to 20 years in prison.
Oh, no, you don't.